Welcome to mini lecture 2.2 for the My Sociology textbook. The topic for this lecture is status. In the beginning of chapter 2, you were instructed to do a learning exercise, a critical thinking exercise, which asks you to answer the question or fill in the blank 20 times as quickly as you could. I am blank. I am blank kind. I am blank hungry. I am blank a student. I am blank a cashier at the grocery store. I am blank female. When you got done with those statements, you can look back at them and see what kinds of things you've written down. For example, I am kind is an example of a trait. I am hungry is an example of a physical condition. But many of the things that you have written down in answer to the question, who am I, are what we call in sociology status or a status position. A status is a social position like butcher, baker, candlestick maker, but it doesn't have to be related to a vocation or a job. Things like female or male, or black, white, or Asian could also be considered status positions. They're simply positions, social positions, that connect you to other people in society. If you think about it for a minute, you would, if you said, I am a husband, you are only a husband because you have a wife. If you said, I'm a parent, you're a parent because you have children. If you said, I am a student, you're a student because you belong to a class. So many of the status positions that you hold really connect you to other people or to groups to which you belong. And but you have many status positions at any given time in your life. And all the status positions that a person holds at one time in their life is called the status set. Another term for status set is social identity, because often if you're introducing yourself to somebody or to a group, you might say something along the lines of, hello, my name is Dave, I'm married, I have 3 kids, I'm a teacher, I like to fish on the weekends. So what you've done is you've basically listed a collection of status positions that you hold as a way to tell the other people who you are. So you could say that one way to answer the question, who am I, is to look at your status set. And therefore, you might consider your status set your social identity. Now, there are different types of status positions that a person may occupy. For example, some of the positions you occupy are given to you involuntarily by society, such as your sex or your race. If you put I am male or I am female, society has certain expectations for you based upon that status, but you did not choose to be male or female. You simply find yourself occupying that status and then finding that society has expectations for you accordingly. On the other hand, some status positions are achieved. They're ones that a person acquires during their life. If you're a student in college, you're working toward getting your college degree. And one day when you graduate, you will walk across the stage wearing a cap and gown, shake the hand of the president of the college, and receive a diploma. And at that moment, you will add a new status position to your status set, in particular, the status of college graduate. And it will change the way you interact with other people in society and the way other people in society view you. Because you can think of the many ways that having a college degree will change your life. So that's an achieved status, one that you acquired during your life. In fact, it was not only an achieved one, but it was one that you pursued and sought after. A master status is a position within your status set that's either of greater importance than the others or has greater influence in terms of social interaction for shaping how you see yourself and how others see you. For example, let's look at this figure from the textbook. This figure illustrates a person's status set, and that's what the dotted line represents, the dotted line around the different status positions. Each status position is typed inside of a closed figure representing that status position, and all together, taken together, they're the status set for our stick figure in this figure. The stick figure has a status set that includes husband, neighbor, medical doctor, golfer, and male. In this illustration, I've suggested that medical doctor is the master status for the individual. Because suppose that even though this individual is a husband, a neighbor, a golfer, and so on, when it seems that the status of medical doctor influences his interactions with most of his interactions with other people in most of the different contexts that he interacts with people. In other words, when he's in his office performing his duties officially as a doctor, wearing a white lab coat and a stethoscope around his neck, certainly people call him Dr. So-and-so. But, on the other hand, if someone sees him in the grocery store, they don't say, there's my neighbor buying groceries. They say, or there's somebody's husband buying groceries. They say, there's Dr. So-and-so buying groceries. If they see him on the golf course, they don't say, there's a golf enthusiast playing golf. They say, there's Dr. So-and-so playing golf. So there may be few places that the doctor goes where he's not first thought of as doctor, regardless of what role he happens to be performing at the moment. And that's why, if that's the case for this individual, then we could say that medical doctor was a master status for this individual. Well, this has been a little review of the term status and some different types of statuses: achieved status, ascribed status, master status, and of course the status set or social identity. In our next installment of mini lecture, we'll talk about a role, and roles are linked to statuses. This video has been part of a series of mini lectures by David Strickland in support of the My Sociology textbook.